evening, curling fans from Shenzhen, China, host to this year's Pacific Asia Curling Championship. Shenzhen, the city, has grown 50 times its population in only 4 decades. And the Shenzhen Universiade Sports Center hosted the 26th Summer Universiade in 2011. The arena right next door to where the curling is has hosted many major events like the National Hockey League and National Basketball Association games. It's now home to the Shenzhen Aviators, the Chinese Basketball Association. We're right next door, as I said. Our feature game here this evening in Session 8, Korea takes on the host nation, China, in our feature matchup. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie as we get you all set up for the evening draw on a Monday night. Let's meet the teams from left to right. For Korea, their lead is Seo Ye-eun. Second, Kim Soo-ji. Their third is Min-ji. And their skip, Kim Eun-chi. And also left to right for China, their lead, Xiao Ri-yi. Second, Jiang Cindy. Their third, Shang Li-jun. Skip, Han Yu. Standings coming into tonight's game: China atop at 3-0, followed by Japan, Korea, and the Chinese Taipei at 2-1. Australia, Hong Kong, Kazakhstan all at 1-2. Then Qatar 0-3 so far at this competition. And we are in Session 8 tonight. Two teams familiar with one another, not this event, but into the playoff round as well. Past champions. The usual exchange of pin and a banner. Let's see the other games going on. Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei over on Sheet A, while on Sheet B, Qatar against Kazakhstan. Sheet C is Japan, Australia. Nothing on Sheet D. We're over on Sheet E this evening. 5 sheets set up with the 8 teams in action. The last stone draw numbers. China wins that one, so they will have last stone advantage in this first end. Korea with the red stones, China with the yellow. They await the go-ahead. The left-handed lead for Korea will start this game off. Seo Ye-eun. In an important game, China beat Japan earlier today to be the only unbeaten team, and really a win in this one puts them in a good spot to try and get that 1 seed.
Yep, top 4 progress to the playoff stages, and the 2 finalists will qualify for this season's World Championships in Canada.
Xiao Ri-yi, 20-year-old lead. For China, they play both their games on the same sheet of ice. Advantage for them?
If the ice is still the same, yes. Ice can change throughout the day. But certainly because it was tricky earlier on and they've experienced that, it certainly would be an advantage coming in.
Shouldn't be a surprise to either side. They've had their practice time. They did their last stone draw. Now into game play. Look at the rules of play. 6 ends minimum must be played. 38 minutes of thinking time. 1 60-second timeout. Well, got a chance to see this Chinese team, one that we haven't seen a lot at international play, and a very simplified game plan of we'll hit a few chances. We see this Korean side, Kim Soo-ji, 26 years of age. Haven't seen it as much. There's been a few different Korean teams coming out, but both expect them to be a little more aggressive in this one than the Chinese side.
Yeah, definitely. As you say, there's been quite a few different Korean teams in the last few years, and really all playing to a high standard.
Obviously, the big mark in that was the Olympic run that they had in their home country and going to a silver medal. They were the talk of the country. They're rock stars with commercials. And they haven't been on the stage. They've stepped away from the game for a bit right now. Jiang Cindy, as we talk about new teams, it's a new Chinese squad in the women's ranks right now.
Yep, they're a junior team, and it's nice to see younger players coming through. But with all these Pacific Asia countries, more and more teams are coming through. It's not always the same faces you see, and it just shows the depth with the investment going into the sport of curling in these countries, and more people taking it up at a high level.
Well, that'll just hang around on the side. We saw Japan get that growth from having the Olympics in 1998, and then it took a while it grew, but it didn't grow quite as fast as we've seen from Korea in the recent Olympic Winter Games, and now leading into the Beijing Games. Hoping to have a good showing at those games. China does have one Olympic medal. That was a bronze, Wang Bingyu in 2010.
One thing is always great communication between both of these teams. They're always feeding back on every shot played. Want to be as good as they can be.
Minji, 28-year-old third. So just that lone stone in the house, back of the 8-foot. Shang Lijun. Seeing all these players in their 20s.
When all these players came in the scene at first, look, they spent so many training hours on the ice working on their technical deliveries, and the only way they can really get the tactical experience is to play and compete. So they're all very technically sound, and just now out on the world stage getting that experience, and it's amazing how quickly they are developing.
Well, we see that one roll out. A true game experience is invaluable. You know that you're not going to be able to get it, even if you're playing the same team time and time again. You got to play different teams, different competition, different thought process and strategies. Play one team that wants to be a little more defensive, you may go that way. You play a team more aggressive, or they try a tactic that you haven't seen before.
And that's the exciting thing about curling. Every game's different. You'll face a different situation every time. So it's always dealing, with what's in front of you.
언니 노마라 3래요. 안 써서 있는 게 좋을 것 같아서. 그럴 것 같아요. 파이팅.
Well, Korea coming in at 2-1. Their loss coming at the hands of Japan. Kim Eun-chi. Hit roll to the heart of the rings. And a win in this game by Korea would create that logjam. Japan wins as well tonight with those one-loss teams all beating each other.
That's when their draw shots come into force. Come later in the week. If they can't be determined on ranking who gets first place, it'll be done on their draw shot. Pre-game cumulative stats that the umpires take before every game.
Han Yu, the youngest, just at 19. Well, Wansu would like to stick around. Gotta make things tough on your opponent, especially early in a game. But it will not roll onto the rings, so it'll be a throw through. Not that they need any more practice, but throw to a spot, get a read on it. So last stone here, this is going to be a blanked first end. China can separate themselves 2 games from Korea with a win. That one comes right through. It is a blank first, so nothing on the board. 0-0 Korea and China after 1 end to play.
아니 근데 얘네가 우리랑 릴리즈가 아예 달라.
A beautiful venue here for the Pacific Asia Curling Championship. No score in our matchup. Korea and China. First stone of the first end went into the rings. It's intending to be out front, but it'll slide into the rings. Nonetheless, here, Han Yu will go put that corner guard out in front. Xiao Riyi Try and put these in a good position, really set up those multiple score. Well, they want to guard up that stone. We saw this earlier on the sheet that he will curl a lot, very curly sheets. So you're going to try and place those guards in a good position.
Yep, the guards need to be fairly close to the rings so you can bury behind them.
There's the play. Ignore the stones in the center line. That's a tactic that some people don't think about all the time.
Yeah, sometimes teams will just react to what's in front of them. But clearly China got a game plan. They're sticking to it right now. And that's what's so important when you come into a game with your game plan, that you try and stick to it as much as you possibly can, that you don't get sucked into the opposition's way of playing or the way they want you to play.
Well, I find it fascinating. We're almost two separate games right now. Well, we're going to go around the center. I'm going to play behind the corner. At some point, you got to meet together. Well, they're trying the double peel, but well, actually, double peel off their own, pushing it in. That double is available.
It is. So that's really put an end to the corner side of that game for China by removing the guard themselves. Oops, as she said, that wasn't the plan. Is it going to spin enough? It's not, it's going to hang in the back.
Just. You get those stones spinning, they'll just keep going forever in that one. Hoping for it to go a little further.
Yeah, just got it fractionally too thin.
You see this with some young teams sometimes. Not afraid, but would rather play. They don't have things along the center line set up. They'll play and try and get a corner guard.
Yep, in the men's game you tend to see more all coming around the center.
Yeah, other teams you might see come around. Not that it's right or wrong. They're trying to hit and roll off that guard to get a corner guard.
play the come around the centre game until it's time to bail out if things don't go your way. Whereas I think just with the younger teams as well, they've just not had that experience of playing that kind of game, that they're playing the simple, you know, put up the centre, put up the corner. That's a really nice shot on the nose to lie to.
They're trying to sweep, get that one to come and sweep with the curling to get that there, unable to do so. So the flash there by Shang Li Jun.
라인 조금 타이트해. 라인 좋아. 웨이트. 여기 보고 와줘. 언니 가자. 여기 와야 돼. 예인아 진짜 너가 와야 돼. 예인아 더 와야 돼. 와.
Well, if that missed, now Korea decides, let's guard that. Make things a little trickier. Again, not wanting to make that come around, not want to get into that play. Hanyu, we see the Korean coach Shin Dong-ho.
Yeah, Korea quite happy just to guard. They know their stone in the house isn't great. It's easily outdrawable by China, but happy at this stage just to keep guarding and try and force an error.
Well, runs and moves that one out, leaves the guard still in play.
판 어디가 나? 수지야? 아웃터? 네. 근데 이게 맞을 수도 있어서 맞고 들어가도 되나?
아니 굳이
정확하게 어디가 좋아요, 언니? 8. 다 들어가는 거.
길은 인턴 몇 점?
저도 쓰긴 했어요, 한 번. 웨이트 괜찮아?
아 비슷비슷.
좀 여유 있게 가면 괜찮을 것 같아. 여기 잡아줘. 근데 이쪽이 너무 가까워서 쟤랑 이쪽 써야 될 것 같아. 아웃턴이 별로라고? 아니, 너무 가까워. 저 들어가 있는 빨간색이. 길이. 8 다 들어가는 거. 여기가?
Well, how aggressive does Korea go? Do they guard? Do you go around, try and draw around everything here?
Yeah, they could come around, yeah, this side on the in-turn to the forefoot. And yes, there's a double from that red on the centre, but make them play that.
웨이트를 모르면 괜히 쓸 필요가 없을 것 같아. 완전 한 가도 1층이었어.
Well, a little tap. Trying to maybe get across the face a little bit more to tap it, or straight on the nose.
Yeah, well, they indicated the tap and then they looked at the draw, and I think they were caught in between there with the sweeping. Because China now can see the whole of that stone, and that's where coming round the yellow on the other side, it would have left an angled double, and then they could have got a better one round with the next one. So now it gives a chance to to China here to hit and roll off that Korean stone and get in behind cover.
10秒，10秒5，10秒5，10秒。好，下线。Cindy， 下下。
Well, can get to it and makes a hit, rolls a little off to the side.
Well, it does lie short. So Korea have to make a play on it.
구요? 팔 때 그냥 하면 돼, 팔. 좋아. 로마로 팔. 지정. 로마로. 와우. 놀아봅시다.
Does remove it, but rolls out of play.
Yeah, big difference if you're able to hold that, sit right there. Well, and younger player electing, not knowing draw weight, is going to play the hit on this one top part of the rings, and we've seen some half shots that hit rollouts. Nose hit will still do it for Hanyu to get their single point. Last shot, second end.
It's a good force from Korea, though. They've had a good end here.
Trying to get it to curl a little bit. They hit and roll. It will stay in play just. It spins back at the end to confirm it. Just enough. Get their single point. China on the board with the hammer. Korea will have the hammer, trailing 1-0.
我边着甩，我现在投一个，第二个，然后再处理它。我肯定100%站位，你就得背球轻。몇이었어, 나 웨이트? 뭐야?
Was the first score of the game. That was a single point in the second.
下线一直来
Curling Championship 2019. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. Korea has the hammer now. Played a solid second end.
辛苦了。15秒。OK， 滑了。这边直的。我这个时候送点的。哦，有点往外。停。
Real close look there. The left-handed delivery for the Korean lead. Seo Yoon.
안 들어가. 아니야, 너무 타이트하지 않으면 안 돼. 잘했어.
Well, China much more aggressive
小一点力量。
without the hammer, especially around that center line guard.
3，下下来，一直下下来。3，2，3，近一点，近一点。再来点，再来点，再来点，兄弟。好了，别擦了，当时。OK。14秒1，这抓太多了。
They're trying to get it around and actually could have let it got off, so it stayed in the free guard zone.
노말 우리 노말이다.
아, 네.
It's an opportunity. Ron, do they want nose on this one?
Yep, if they nose, it's still in the free guard zone, and it's very usable for them. Still gives them another corner guard, which is very good for later on. They've got 2 options now of corners. It means China just has to make sure they come around that centre guard and not allow Korea the chance to use the corners.
See the stopwatch is going, trying to get split times, trying to get hog-to-hog times. Everyone trying to get a read of what the ice is doing.
线路没问题，只是力量。稍微大一点啊。7，往下来选，够下吧？他吗？哇 ，6。好球，好球，可以，好球，13秒。
Goes deep, trying to make that come around.
滑的小一点。缓坡。컨트롤.
And this is where Korea could play a draw. They don't have to remove that yellow from play. So if they hit and roll over behind the corner, it will be back tee.
Won't get any of it, seeing a few times. Really trying to use that directional sweeping, sweeping with the curl. That one doesn't do enough. See what China can do to take advantage.
13秒5吧。行。65，我等一等啊，我感觉这边滑，我投的时候觉得滑一点。下线，下线。我不用。6，我5区都行。5，一定要前区啊。下线擦着点。5区啊。刷子位置。下线。再来一个人够。6。来一点1。好球！好球！
Well, into the forefoot it goes. Nicely done. Well managed stone.
그제 이렇게. 계속 와야 돼. 계속. 민재 안쪽이야. 샷.
Good positioning here for China. Top of the 4, back of the 4, just looking to guard.
力量没问题啊，3。下楼 OK， 只是力量。下楼 OK， 正常大就行。随便。带着点。OK， 好球，好球，好球，好球。
Well, still China line 2.
14秒4。13秒4吗？14秒4。
And Korea got in a little bit. They tried to chase with the hit. Unable to make the shot. China sunk another one.
달려. 예인아 살짝. 아워.
Oh, another run back. They don't get anything in the rings. The guard will go back out in front.
다 했어 괜찮아 민자.
We'll look over Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei, and it's like Hong Kong got 3.
Yep, Chinese Taipei have got backing though. They can just come in on top of these to get shot. Heidi Lin looking a wee bit heavy here. Sweeper standing right back. But no problem, uses the backing and scores 1. Ties the game 1-all.
Yeah.
And she's few. Thank goodness.
Had that one to catch it. Get their 1. We have a 1-0 game here. China leads, but they have a good end set up so far here.
And I still go back to when, you know, China went back T and Korea tried to hit. Instead of drawing in and putting the pressure on China, they ended up chasing the end.
원백이 날 것 같다는 거죠?
모르겠어.
맞고 밀어 넣기가 웨이트도 안 되고 안 될 것 같아. 어렵긴 어려워요. 오케이. 파이팅. 민자 여기 맞춰야 돼.
파이팅. 파이팅.
워! 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 워!
Wow, they keep trying these, and you're getting the 1. If you don't make the run back, you're still facing another.
미안.
Same situation, just replace that shot, put it back out in front, still leave China lying 2. Here's all the scores. 1-1 Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei. We just showed you Kazakhstan leading Qatar 5-0, and Japan up 4-0 over Australia. A 1-0 game here in end number 3. Ice does curl, but it's become easier and easier because they've now thrown this 2-3 times down the same path to replace the guard. So Han Yu, a little bit heavier, it's going to slide into the rings.
Yeah, our line was good, but just a bit too much running.
노즈로 일단 2개 때려놓으면.
근데 로즈를
하면 애들 어차피
And double will be slightly easier now.
휴, 해놔야지.
여기 잡아줘.
오케이.
가운데 잡아줘.
오케이.
필로 갈게.
파이팅.
The real question, can you get all 3 moving?
트리플이 나오기는
You
하는데
can.
상황상 너무 어려울 것 같아서. 판이 뭔데? 아우터. 아우터? 왜 필레이팅이야?
파이팅.
천천히.
You have to catch the top one pretty thin to make sure that middle one would catch the back one. But right now, I think if she can lift the 2, she'll be quite happy.
얍. 워. 얍. 안 되겠다.
Well, how many do they get? And they will just get 1. The shooter rolling off to the side.
떨어지네.
Sticks around, so now guard that much more important. You miss it.
안 되겠다.
That really was a chance to get that one off the top of the forefoot.
So ultimate decision, do you hit that red one, get rid of it, put the guard up? If the guard's off by a bit and over curls, could leave a double for 2. But China's been throwing these guards
我等一等再下线。刷的位置，下路下一点，一下。下来，擦到停。我别掉。
好球。No worry about over curling on that. Perfect guard placed.
Just probably, if we're really critical, it's probably over curled because the draw is there to come up to the back one and get shot. Whereas if that guard had been over more of the centre line, it would have blocked that draw.
Well, now you're getting picky.
I'm getting picky. I'm just looking for perfection.
Sitting next to it.
Where? I haven't seen them.
So they'll have to draw, put this one right in the full forefoot in order to get a single point.
Yep, she has got backing.
Kim Un-chi, final shot. Trying to get the little touch of their own, and the redirect. Great line call. Wow, that's a great line call to redirect, because you don't touch that. It's sliding through, and it's a steal of 2. Instead, it's a single point. So after 3, we are tied 1-1.
OK， 要擦个2、3遍就更滑了。对，一遍比一遍。然后还是先边去炸一遍。
릴리즈가 좀 많았으시죠? 네. 근데 웨이트도 세거든. 네. 그리고 지금 어느 정도 아이스가 괜찮아가지고 네. 내 생각에는 범퍼까지는 웨이트가 괜찮을 것 같아요. 네. 잘 맞춰볼게요.
카드예요 언니.
네.
Well, a real observant and aware line call. Min-ji gets the sweepers on, get enough of that stone, chip it, roll in for 1, knowing that they're awake. Can't discredit front end, making sure they knew the weight. That conversation, Rona, you talked about the communication being vital. There it proves to its worth as they get the single point.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that communication on what the weight was. They knew if they went through that gap, they were going to lose a 2, so they had to redirect off that other red. People say you can be lucky in curling, but I still maintain you make your own luck a lot of the time.
Yeah, you do need some breaks to go your way, but you can control a fair amount. Seo Yoon. Oh, just a little chip off that front one trying to come around. But with all those out front, opportunity to use that corner guard that you put up. Definitely taken to heart. Some teams will hear the line. If you put a corner guard up, use it. And here they're going to use it early.
一下现场，插不出去，我有点插不出去。下线哈，不踩了，不踩了，让他踩。好球！好球
！Xiao Yi goes back 12 foot.
好球！好球！这样偏大一点，3.68。可以。수지야 그냥 아웃다운 어때? 여기 너무 더 잡아야 돼. 8. 네. 화이팅. 화이팅. 웨이트만. 라인 괜찮아. 계속 와. 약하면 나. 계속 와야 돼. 계속. 화이팅! 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 계속 와야 돼. 좀만 더. 받아와야 돼.
Trying to sneak around that center line. Can they paper it? They do. It's nice they do have that second guard. Otherwise, it'd be out in the open. And out in the open, all those red stones for Japan. But the 4 foot's what Australia needs.
Okay.
Yep, Lauren Wagner trying against
Room.
3 Japanese counters.
Full 12.
But they're all on the outskirts of their house, so
Heavy.
just needs to be fighting 8 foot.
Whoa. Whoa.
She has got backing she can use if the line's there,
Nice throw, Lauren. Whoa.
but doesn't need the backing. Finds the button. So a score of 1 for Australia on the board. 4-1 after 3 to Japan.
아니면 가드? 2점.
Well, run back missed by China. Meaning advantage Korea here in this 4th end. Neither side with the hammers really been able to get anything set up.
라인 타이트 할 것 같아. 라인 괜찮아. 네. 민지야 라인 넉넉히 기다려줘. 셋. 가까울 것 같아. 어디야? 넷.
5까지 가. 5.
잘 간다. 언니 잘 간다.
5.
들어와.
언니 이거 들어갈 수도 있다.
안돼 풀면 안 돼. 화이트. 굿샷. 잘 간다. 잘 던졌어 언니.
Well, it would have been nice they could take it for a second shot, but you come too
시작.
far, and it opens up that one even more.
11秒. 빵빵 11秒. 11秒5吧. 行. 11秒5. OK. 行，打包后面打前面的。好，头往外甩一点。要是过不去，及时放开，打前面的也行。OK。 哇，这样偏大一点，下线，这可以下线，推一推下来，再下，推一推下线推，再下。
Well, trying to get this one to come up, get enough of that stone. Jam on the back. Actually get shot stone out of it.
力量有点大，直接给的大一点。
There's a break that goes away and you can't control.
全场多少了哈？
Yeah, absolutely.
이게 1번이야.
Ended up a pretty good result for them.
상대 2냐. 그래서.
Korea could ignore this and come round on the intern side, right round those top 2 reds, coming into the 4 foot.
웨이트 알아서 갈게.
They don't need to chase this one back of the house.
Yeah, see that sometimes where you get caught in chasing shot stone wherever it is. This plays into China's hands playing behind the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they had to get by first. This one they won't. So it looks like a deuce might be on here for China.
앞에 맞추려 그랬어. 이미 맞아서.
And this is where coming into the 4 foot, it's actually easier coming round from the outside. Coming around the higher one first. what the time clock's saying for hog-to-hog timing.
下线看了就，我不会换刷了。
Range between 13 and 13 and a half today for T.
下线了，下线。
13.6.
往后去擦。谁能下线？
So it'll be pretty close to T line.
脚兄弟。Sorry.
Well, seems even maybe a little faster surface.
Yep, it
但感觉
does.
可小了。我也感觉有点小。
Is there enough to make that double?
저호투 몇이야?
13.6.
Sometimes at night when it's the third game of the day, the ice can get slower. But it certainly seems to be running on a wee bit tonight.
약하면 계속 와. 약해. 웨이트. 언니 그냥 가. 웨이트. 계속 와. 그러면 계속 와. 끝까지 와야 돼.
They want to freeze to that the stone back of the 8 foot.
끝까지 오면 돼. 끝까지 와. 끝까지 와. 끝까지 와. 더 와. 끝까지 와. 끝까지 와야 돼.
So
더 와야 돼. 더 와야 돼.
just staying on that one, go right in behind to the side of the button.
Very well swept.
Yeah, they went hard to get that even to that point.
그냥 좀 기다렸다가 푸시를 할 거 차야 돼. 야,
돌리는 거. 아이,
살짝 보여서. 끝까지 와야 돼. 간다. 웨이트
Now
계속
these
끝까지
two
와.
go.
멈추지 말고 끝까지 오면 돼. 끝까지 와. 끝까지 와. 끝까지 와. 더 와. 끝까지 와. 끝까지 와야 돼. 더 와야 돼. 더 와야 돼. 굿샷.
So a chance though for China just to
大一点啊，力
tap
量。
that back.
下线，正常待着点。
力量大。
下线推，下线。加油下来啊！再下，一下。下来。嘿，再下，
They're trying to just get that to come over enough to chip it out. Still shot stone for Korea.
挺直的。
送了一下啊。楼太少了，不太，但是给
力量多大
有点。啊，这给。拼着你意思。
여덟.
Well, this end has sure swung back and forth. Looked like a chance for multiple points for China to steal. Right now, that miss. Now Korea, big advantage if they can make a nice come around.
Yeah, important to keep this one just top tee. Make it difficult for China to remove it because of that backing, the back of the forefoot.
피자 많이 있어. 기다려.
어디?
와. 기다릴게. 와. 웨이트. 아니야.
어디야?
좀만 기다려.
예은이가 준비할게.
Plenty of room.
오케이, 예은이가 준비할게.
Got a long way to curl.
라인은 예은이.
안돼. 맞고
Almost have to play the straight freeze now to that back yellow. And they do just that, but behind the tee line.
웨이트가 셌잖아. 먼저 들어가지 마. 웬만하면. 8도 괜찮았는데. 민지 어디 갔냐?
땀 닦여.
그치. 피자 많이 있어. 기다려.
어디?
See the energy and the
기다릴게.
emotion.
웨이트.
어디야? 좀만 기다려. 예은이가 준비할게. 오케이, 예은이가
Trying to
준비할게.
use the body language to see if the rock will listen.
라인은 예은이.
안돼. 맞고 나오면 안 돼.
괜찮아. 굿스.
Tough to tell with the reaction after whether she liked it or not.
Just slipped a wee bit further back than she wanted. Allows China the opportunity to come in on top. But then Korea can come in on top of them and really force the one here.
下楼 OK，只是力量。最近的底线在着呢。嘿。
肯定磕。
好球。
Well, sitting right on the pin, covering it.
这多大
？7-8。
你多少
7-8。
？7-8。
Pretty simple plan now.
프리즈.
摇单。
9. 쟤가 딱 버튼에 있어, 가운데.
양반 1가? 어때 얘나? 좋아. 양반 1가?
지금은 차라리 센터보다 약합니다. 더.
네, 그래서.
전 몇이었어?
97이었어요?
97.
So are they trying to move it or just freeze? I thought I saw the indication.
Yeah, just try and freeze dead on top and say, there you go, have your one. How are you going to get two?
수지야, 아니야, 기다려.
여덟.
수지야, 괜찮아.
어디?
일곱.
어디?
일곱.
얍! 얍! 나이 괜찮아,
여덟 좋아.
여덟. 여덟.
라인 좋아, 얍!
Oh, try and hold the line, trying to keep it on a good angle. Tap it back.
Just over curled. There's an opportunity there for China to get in for two.
It's a very small opening, but there is an opening.
It is.
아, 아예 너무 때리고 싶었는데.
That one really pulled big at the end. Her weight was perfect.
行，我稍微点给他余腹一点。
加油，再来一个。好，那边现在是什么样的脚啊？啊，要往哪投啊？
Not a lot to
咱
draw
压
to,
小白
but
球。
it is there.
你上一个大概9区力量，你得微微收一点。
上一个多大？80是吧？
对。
They must have heard us saying that they don't draw as much round the centre guards.
Into it now.
Certainly are.
8和点
7、8、8去抖一抖。
量要大，8肯定大，
1大，
力量大。
快上把力量。我1大，我不行，帮我抖。
快一点球
我行呢。
Well, don't want to move it too far. If they chip their own,
行。
backing helps them.
对，
Avoids giving up the steal on that, but it is
挺好的。
a single point after all that. One
因为他后面站
yellow
住的
for China and a 2-1 lead.
上把力量。12要打6个。我给你导刷成送劲儿了。啊，可能我感觉到了。我给你的这个点，给这个点，因为你看我刚才给你这个点正好粘那个正面，然后对我寻思然后大一点，别把它那个给磕进了。行，OK，
行，挺好。
S가 아직까진 괜찮아요. 之后下一个就必须得收0.05全场表。
行，
好，先站一个呗。行，第5局站一个，行。1、2，加油！这边来一个。行，这个选哪啊？太久没打了，不太敢收劲儿。
Well, we begin end number 5, a 2-1 game. Both sides had openings, had chances in that last end. Unable to capitalize. Leads to a single point. And China with the hammer.
OK。
Well, neither side wanted to go behind the opponent's center line guard, electing to put the corner guard up instead.
可以可以，等等力量，然后下线待着点，下线可以擦一擦，下线，再等一等，我，行，好球，还挺幸运，压没压着不知道，13秒7。
These come around so difficult to place them. You got to have the perfect ice to get it to the spot. You don't want to be too deep in the rings, but you also don't want to come out in the open. As that one just by a sliver, and there'll be room to get at this.
And she's coming from the left-hand tack, which is also slightly easier on that side.
많이 타이트! 계속 와야 돼. 언니 다 나가! 계속 와야 돼. 다운! 계속 와야 돼. 많이 타이트! 계속 와야 돼. 많이 타이트. 계속 와야 돼. 많이 타이트.
많이 약해.
아 약하다. 아 미안해 언니.
Well, tight and light there. Ends up tapping China in now in line 2.
到我这儿来一个，
他意思在
前区都行，但是这个球有打水，打包和打水，对他不在营里，啊，
不在营里，
打完不在营里，我觉得站一个好一点吧，
站一个也行，咱先站一个，回头再往里旋，先让他清球吧，
这么来，这都可以吧？
站位吗不？站位，微微别一点那种，
对，得站到这个位置，
往里一点都没事儿，
正站就行，
为啥要逆时
顺
呢？
时就行。你觉得呢？
你就过去跟他说一嘴吧，他有点不知道。
没事。
微微收一点点，正站那黄的就行，不用往外。这点大不大？
不大。线路二区啊，平一点。
Just been
哎，我感觉还行。
another centre guard.
我等一等再擦，掉线了，正常带着点。
Bit of deja vu the last time coming down this way.
抓对着。
China had it all blocked up and Korea had to keep clearing. Trying to go for the raise run back, but never got one of them.
现在场地正常掉线了，就这头站着就行。然后怕大点它往下折。
Try double clear here, otherwise you might have to start chasing the other way.
不随便。
说就说再。
이것도 나쁘지 않을 것 같은데.
Let's look in Japan-Australia. 4-1 game in favor of Japan, who have the hammer in the 4th.
And Ike Kitazawa drawing here for a multiple score. Fairly open house. Line 2. Sweepers just nursing it in. No problem. 3 on the board. Extend their lead to a 7-1 scoreline over Australia.
Meanwhile, a great double peel by Korea. They're able to make it on the first effort. Now China's trying to replace 2 of them with just a single stone.
Well, that guard certainly overcurled for them.
Almost can act as a bit of a corner guard.
And that's where if you're tight at all in your release or your delivery, there's no recovery at all. Sweeping can't help you out.
저거 보는 거는
아니야 그래도 민지야 가야 돼. 민지야 가야 돼. 얘네 멀리 가야 돼. 얘네 더 가야 돼. 더
I'll make the hit and roll off the top one.
Plan B, but it gets a counter in behind the cover.
Yeah, it's tough to get at. I don't think if you're China, you have chase it. Still lying shot stone. to a spot that leaves a
14秒
pretty
14秒
relatively easy double takeout.
Yeah, just too far. Anywhere short there was good. However, she has to make it.
도마력. 야.
워우.
올라간다. 클린.
워우.
아직 바깥쪽이야.
Need to get across the nose, and this is hanging out there. Well, they're leaving that one in there, roll off to the side.
셋.
Fortunate able to keep the shooter, because that puts more pressure on their opponent.
Yeah, it means China go away to chase that now rather than guarding the one on the forefoot.
9秒 9秒 9秒5带着点儿2 1 2 行赵一差个2往下线 9秒5
Well, they chase after it. They sit 1-2,
啊，这头居然不往下折了。
but it's all
对，
about
都一样了。
how you manage, where you go with your shooter. And now there's a double.
把我往下折了。
Korea can make it, goes back and set up to try and score 2. Oh, big weight here on Min-ji. Well, have enough. Do they actually make the roll behind the corner too? Look at that.
What a shot.
Spectacular. Not just the double, but rolls off to the side. It looks like they lie. Very close to 1-2.
Because she actually up thinking it was too thick.
Almost ready to give up on that stone. Look at the spin of that one. The alert sweeping right behind that corner. Min-ji. Now Korea's set up nicely. Look at that, very close. Looks
Close, I would probably
Looks measurable.
say red. But we'll probably never find out because China are about to raise their yellow right back. Try and lift both reds.
Can't overthrow this, knowing you still have to, it's the run back, but you need to be accurate. You need to make contact with one of them. Got to get one of those reds, and we'll go over the top.
Okay.
Now they have a very good look to see who is lying before they decide what shot to play.
So if they play the straight draw, does that lead you to think that they think they're 1-2 right now?
Yeah.
아이스 괜찮아?
네, 가드 한 거. 가드 똑같이.
얘네 가드 여기 잡았어. 지금 여기 잡을 거야.
가.
일단 얘들아
Miles on the
11.
coach's bench anyway. They're happy.
민지야 셋 잡아줘.
셋 잡아주세요, 셋. 9요. 파이팅.
Like there was for a second thought about drawing behind the other ones. Now they're drawn to the other side.
Yeah, I like just drawing to the other side. Keep it simple, keep it open.
웨이트.
열하나야? 야, 열하나.
잘 나갈 것 같아, 수지야.
열.
웨이트 괜찮아.
See the hog-to-hog timing.
열둘도 괜찮아, 얘들아.
For Han Yu.
괜찮을 것 같지 않아, 끝까지? 아니, 언니.
아이,
Hope we're watching the hog line timing as well, because she might
더 가야 돼, 더 가야 돼.
need to follow.
굿샷.
Well, look at that, draws in 2 for sure.
미안, 수지야, 미안.
Don't think China's going to chase in the draw game, facing potentially 3.
No, if it's 3, then I would imagine she'll hit.
Han Yu missed the run back with her first. Now looking for the double. Missed just make the double, you give up just 2. Does have to throw this one hard because she has to kick that first stone that she hits all the way over the top.
Doesn't want to jam it on the back one either.
And we'll punch it right through the hole. And that means same shot, draw for the 3. Just like that, that double and roll by Minji.
How one shot can turn an end around.
还是只有正好湖边点，不湖中间点，这就是正常的那个出手，然后点大一点，划大是吗？给
Sometimes
划的正好是点上。
She saw Han Yu miss that first one, it overcurled. The next one, it was wide. Sometimes you overcompensate the other direction.
She's just played this draw, taken the same ice.
민지야, 이거 좀 웨이트 해야 돼. 진짜 기다려야 돼. 아니야, 기다려.
웨이트 죽어 가는 거
Sweeper's
보인다.
not wanting to go near this at the moment.
아, 비슷해.
웨이트 와. 웨이트 와.
좋아.
Seem quite happy.
굿샷.
Right in there, not a problem. The same shot twice. Draw into the house, get the 3rd point. And a big end, it had been only singles to that point. We head to the 5th end break. 4-2, Korea leads China.
往这边甩啊！往那头站位那个球只要打定就是大宝，就是好打的大宝。那个。
쉬는 시간이구나.
우와. 왜 이렇게 빨리 왔다고?
진짜 정신없.
甩那个站位里。
对，所以就是
那种球应该看一眼，我以没事儿。
Second end, not really able to get anything set up to try and score. There were multiple points. Han Yu has a hit, stone top of the house, and has to sit in the 12-foot. And it will sit and spin back to ensure it's a single point for China, the first score of the game. Third end, and what could be a big shot in this game. Draw to the 4-foot for Kim Un-chi. This one, little extra weight. And then an alert, line call, Minji. Little, few brush strokes affects it there. Get the rub, the roll in, and a single point to tie the game up. A little bit of an opening. Bit of that button is available. Han Yu needs to get to all of that button she can see and get to. But she's heavy, and for their sake, doesn't want to disturb it too much. Chips it, rolls off, able to still get their single point. Other scores here in session 8. Chinese Taipei 6-4 leaders over Hong Kong. 10-1 Kazakhstan leads Qatar. 11-1 Japan leads Australia. And we're 4-2 Korea doubling up China in this, heading to the 6th end.
너무 세게 차려고 그래요.
지금 그 뭐냐 노멀업이나 이것도 뒷발로 차려고 그러지 말고 그냥 길게 쭉 찬다는 느낌으로. 오케이?
Alright guys, good 3.3 under, huh? Our skip is hot, so okay? You're playing very good, so you're playing good as well, so just keep it simple from now. Don't make
두 개가 안에 들어가 있어.
But you have to remember, like Marco said, you have hammer in 3 ends,
Yep.
and then you have hammer in 2.
OK，明白。
Mathematics.
就是他是一是对手有3次后手，咱有2次后手，然后咱就扣分，然后后手那个打一打就行，就是局不用。
Well, look at the stats through 5 ends. Korea and China 4-2 score. Korea with the lead. And overall percentage 80 to 71%. Draw percentage 93 to 81. Both hit percentages are low, seeing some hit and rollouts. 66% for Korea, 58 for China. No stolen points, but the big 3 in the 5th end for Korea. They have a 4-2 lead in session 8. Well, look at the, normally a hockey rink, now converted into the curling venue. For this, the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019. 8 women's teams, 10 men's teams. A lot of action here out on the ice. We're over on sheet E here for our evening game today. Both these teams will expect themselves to be in the hunt, those playoff spots, and into the possible podium finish. The top 2 podium spots will get a spot for those nations at the upcoming World Women's Curling Championship in beautiful Prince George, Canada.
But the men team that qualify get to go to the beautiful Glasgow in Scotland.
That's got to be the top reason to want to qualify.
Absolutely.
First stone here for Korea. Seo Yoon goes right to the side of the button, side of the forefoot. China need to regroup. They give up the 3. A couple of mistakes. Han Yu couldn't bail their team out. Kim Un Chi. Good shot making. Comment. Let's keep things going as we see 85%. Xiao Riyi. Chinese lead.
Yep, they're only 2 down. They've got last stone.
Well, that happens more often than you think. Coming out of the 5th end break, that first guard thrown, and it slides into the house. Seo Yoon, 80% on the Korea side. Well, hit, roll right over in front, and nicely done. We'll leave those 2 lined up.
2 great shots there, setting up the end.
잘했어.
线区。
我等一等，
哦
这要擦就得下线。
不行不行不行不行。
好像有点大了。停一停，要等。
China's still looking for this corner guard. Is it going to stop?
It won't.
It's not.
一样的力量。Sorry。
So 2 consecutive guards, those numbers will go down
下回。
for Xiao Yi.
滑，3.94。
Kim Suji, 85%.
Solid game.
Wants to hit another line, another one up. Not always easy to manage where you roll to on these shots, but really using the sweeping, especially last couple ends, getting some good results on the hits.
大力吧。行。收点，大力就得收点点。
So important to keep the shooter. So earlier on today, two teams are struggling, hitting and rolling out a lot.
65% Jiang Cindy. Makes a couple go away, sits right there, so keeps her shooter in play.
按0.0打吧。对。这多大？7秒96，8秒。
Doesn't seem like much by keeping that shooter there.
Korea have to make a play on it. Potentially could jam it on their back one.
좀 얇아. 놀아올 때일 것 같아. 많이 얇아요. 많이 얇아. 좀 놀아올 때일 것 같아. 굿콜이야. 발 좋지?
Wide open, just that one stone in the rings. China try and set something up. Put a corner guard up. Other options they have at this point, Rona?
Yeah, they're still trying to get their two here, so trying to give themselves a chance with some cover. There's no other cover out front at all. They could freeze the one in the house, they could play a wee tap back, but you know, it's so easy to come around corner guards that they've got to give this a chance. And Korea could call their bluff and not take the corner and put up a centre guard. But by taking the corner, they're trying to eliminate losing a two.
Minji, 75% on the game. He's had a stellar game so far. And gave her the curse because she noses the peel, and all of a sudden there's a corner guard. Something for China to use. Minji with two key shots, one calling line and one a double and roll in the fifth end to set up that 3 score. Shang Li Jun, 63%, so big difference in the middle of the lineup.
13秒2。可以，是。力量大的时候下线一个人踩就行。好 ，OK。
So Korea think they can see enough of it, tap it back.
근데 많이는 안 보여요.
날라갈래.
아이스 때문에 공포가 날 것 같아.
좋아.
간파. 좀 다운이 언니. 야, 다운이 와.
Indeed, just playing a down weight, a hack weight. Passes the guard.
Well, able to get to that one actually easier than I thought. Just taps it, rolls to lie 2.
구스야. 6-4. 잘했어.
웨이트 괜찮아?
완전 딱이야.
So a couple stones behind the tee line, 1 corner guard, Korea, lying 2. Well, solid effort. They're trying to roll in front.
9.5.
Not quite all the way.
만나는 선에서 최대한 두껍게?
아니 로말 없으면 그냥 페이 딱 가자. 날아가도 되니까. 살짝 바깥.
그러니까 제일 만나는 거 1번 볼게.
그래.
Yeah, because Korea, if they head and roll out here,
로말아?
there's a chance for
웨이트 뭐예요?
China to use that backing as a freeze.
언니 쪽 아예 가는 거야? 아니 최대한 세우는 것 같은데 그쪽으로 좀 가야 뒤에 쯤 언니 A가 정확히 뭐야? 살짝 옆에? 살짝 옆에? 저 가는 건 아니죠? 가는 거 아니야. 살짝 정
Constant communication between skip and sweepers,
정해져 있어. 얘나.
making sure everybody's aware of what's happening.
Kim An-chi, 80% on the game. Make sure to hit this on the board side so they don't jam it on the back. Makes that one go away.
너무 셌어 미안. 킬러 앞에. 라이点点.
Just takes 1 shot by China and they have an opportunity to score 2. Although it doesn't look.
I would like to see her come down and freeze on top of that.
Even a little tap.
Yeah. Make it harder for Korea. Just to try and generate your 2.
So Han Yu, 69% on the game. Leaning towards the hit game a little more than her draw game. And will double and roll the other way. So not sure if that was the call. Works out really well for her.
Certainly does.
Doesn't take much, but you make a nice shot like this. A good line call there in the house. Shang Li Jun.
Great result. You can see there, Kim An-chi can't see any of that.
Gonna have to just straight draw down to it.
Yep. Draw down, half check on top of it.
Well, it was a double and roll last end by Korea that set up their 3. Double and roll could set up a deuce if this one's not executed. Kim An-chi.
Still got a long way to draw.
Come down, put it right on the corner.
Just maybe spun off it enough that China can get to the inside of it, tap it back and get 2. Another half turn on that handle and it was pretty perfect.
是平的吗？
这个在前面一点儿。踏板，踏板。这点，可以可以，12秒、11秒5，12秒就行。好，
行，
这边滑 ，OK。
Well, opportunity. It's not a perfectly executed shot by Korea, but forces a tricky shot, which is available here. The last stone in N6.
11秒5，往，往，带着下线，下线，下大线，再下，脚死你，
I'm trying to get this one to come over, but they'll hit it high side, the wrong side, and roll out. And it's a steal of one. So just like that, a swing, a steal, and Korea extends their lead through 6 ends. It's now 5-2, Korea on top.
踏板力量就出去吧。
로우로 실패하고 싶네요. 아니면
A steal in 6 extends Korea's lead. They now have a 5-2 advantage. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. Korea, the lone unbeaten women's team here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships.
A lot of strapping on her wrist.
I see the tape to help possible injury or something, an ailment. It's a lot of work these players are doing, trying to keep in good shape. Doesn't take much to tweak a muscle, a ligament. Try to make sure that everyone can stay out there as much as possible. Seo Yoon and Korea played very well the last couple of, not that they played bad the first start of the game, but 5th, 6th ends, dictating the play and getting some mistakes by China. The second one into the house for the Korean side. Well, trying to keep it right in front, it just squirts off a little bit. Trying to hold the nose so they could stay right there.
On this one early to try and hold the line. Want to keep the shooter. That's a really nice shot.
Now, Gimanchi definitely can hear and gets animated. Let's look in over the other end sheet. Hong Kong against Chinese Taipei, 6-4 in the 6th end.
Chinese Taipei line 1, edge of the forefoot.
Yep. Make sure.
Hung Lung Yu
Full forward.
looking to just draw up to it.
Now, yes. 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 Keep it coming. You got it. Yes.
Can they get it there? They're sweeping it hard.
Wow.
Great shot.
Very nice. 1 point game over on sheet A. Hong Kong coming in 1 and 2. Chinese Taipei 2 and 1.
被选死了，他 hurry。Go go go。OK。
快选，辛苦。这多大？
China ignored the 2 in the centre. Tried to come around the corner. Goes a bit deep.
All the other scores, you just saw 6-5 on sheet A. In favor of Chinese Taipei. 10-2 Kazakhstan leading Qatar. 11-2 Japan leading Australia. 5-2 here in our feature game.
많이 와. 진짜 많이 와야 돼. 많이 와야 돼. 계속 와야 돼. 이제 저거 잡기. Go 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 go. 좀만 더 좀만 더. 간다 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 간다. 푸시. 푸시.
Well, set it in the 5th end break for Korea. Just keep it simple. They were able to do that in the last end with guards sliding in early by China. Say this is a pretty simple end so far, Rona?
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't try to do anything clever there. When China came around the corner, immediately took off the corner guard.
那球在5-6呢。6带着点1。哇！7要抓多一点。他先了。没问题。哇！力量 OK 可以的。
He's trying to freeze to the face of this.
哇，这是。
Nice wee rub inside.
对他这个后期抓有点少，有点横着长。
后期有点折下去了。我感觉磕不上了，我寻思就奔悬来吧。
393。
很高呢。啊？ 그래요? 턴! 아웃턴 괜찮아? 아웃턴!
Well, they're able to squirt just in behind, so it gets in short little run back available for Korea.
안 돼, 안 돼, 안 돼!
Looking slightly worried in this one.
예인아!
Now trying to get this to curl, use that directional sweep. Don't get it, and it'll go over the top, so they miss both of them.
괜찮아, 언니?
Just like that, China has something cooking.
Yeah, just by forcing your opposition to make the more difficult shots. And it wasn't anything too clever from China. It was one round your corner and then just playing about with the stones in the centre.
Well, they have to maintain this here. 7 more stones. No guards out in front. Nose hit. There is a double available.
10秒。10秒。
If you make that first double, do you make the triple?
여기 맞아야 되긴 해. 네.
Can't see the angles properly from here, but you need to catch that middle one on the right-hand side to lift the double. But I think you'd have to catch it pretty thin to catch the back one.
저거까지 같이 볼게. 아니면 이렇게 봐야 되는데 이게 더 나을 것
Yep,
같아.
certainly looking at it.
And the young players are
Hit up.
very good at seeing the angle, seeing what they have to hit, seeing where they need to go in order to make these shots.
이것도 같이 보면 돼.
Doesn't matter what team you see on the Korean side. They're a very fearless team. way they play about. They're not afraid to go after these type of shots.
Yeah, when you're younger, you have no fear. It's when you get older, you start questioning things. Become more sensible.
And this looks very close to the double. Make the triple just underneath. Just about had that triple.
Yeah, so there was that distance between the two that we couldn't really see from here. To catch them on that hand, wasn't far away at all.
Well, they get off here. Maybe if they stay on, they might hold it a bit. Was not far away from making that triple takeout. China still has that deuce set up. Draw to the wide side. Zhang Ligun.
4局可以了哦。
往提前插，尽量往提前插。插多么插到提前？提前没问题。
再来点，再来点。
Yep, really good split of the house.
辛苦，好球。13秒8。在这边，好像不一样啊。
不随便。这就挺好，因为我
Very decisive. Well, not that there's a lot of option at this point for Kim An-chi.
那你那个要再放一放，甩到这个上面呢？他就打定呗。咱左右都是 double， 就太近了。
Yeah, and Korea won't be too bothered if they do give up a 2 here. They're still 1 up playing the 8th with the hammer. So it's still a good position to be in.
Right on the nose. See if Han Yu can make that nose hit right back, maybe even a little roll away. Don't think they'll be too cute with this. As long as you keep it on that side of the center line, not roll over to your other stone.
Yeah, don't want to give away a double now. Set the end up really well to score 2.
10秒5，9秒5，好球！
Maybe a marginal roll inside, but it's not going to be enough. That's a very long double to try and make. Anything that Korea can do to make this more difficult?
Not a lot. The house is pretty open. They could hit, although not removing the other stone, they could hit and roll over towards it. But it's a long way to go. As I say, giving up a 2 is not a disaster for Korea here.
Good 10 feet or so away from each other, those 2 stones. Kim An-chi, her last rock without the hammer. Try and jump that over, unable to, but does sit shot. He's gonna hope for a minor mistake from China. But China has the 2 set up. It's a nice rebound end for China. Give up 3, give up the steal, and then able to come out. Trying to cap this one off and get their 2.
Han Yu looking pretty happy with this. Is it going to stay?
It doesn't. It'll roll out. Unable to. Wasn't a lot of concern. But they can't hold the shooter, so only a single point. Well played end, but they can't finish the job. It's a 5-3 Korea lead after 7.
这个比上一个稍微大一点，
快一点点，
因为我本来也是直一点。行，站2个就跟进攻打吧。行，来，1、2，加油！8，
还有3局，没事儿。
正常往下擦一擦，
擦一擦，
加油擦一擦，加油再往下来点，
加油再来点，再来点。
Well, a mistake from China. They
好球儿，
辛苦了。
unable to score there too. Had the hit and stick, but it'll roll out. I mean, just a single point instead of the 2, and it's a 5-3 game.
快踢！
3 ends remaining. Those are points when you're playing these top teams that you can't afford to let slip.
哦，明佳，明佳，
See Korea trying the chip shot. Goes right by, so mistake, an opportunity to get 2 centerline guards up. Comparison of the numbers here. Advantage, Seo Yu-un, 86 to 73.
1、2就行。
Yeah, it's just the 8th end.
哦，大一点。
Korea
线掉下来了，慢着点，
just 2 up.
正常。
They're trying to play those tick shots so they have the forefoot open to make sure they can score this end.
好球！
好球儿。OK， 可以，
辛苦了。4秒啊！好。
好球儿。
New 5-stone free guard zone rule certainly favours you when you're trying to play catch up. Gives you much more opportunity to get cover up.
바깥길이야. 지금 릴리즈 너무 많이 했어. 기다려, 수지야.
8,
하면 민지 언니야. 7만이야. 라인도 많이 넘이야.
9,
뒤로 올까?
9,
This one taking a long time to come.
그냥 세워.
The weight was pretty good, but
잘했어.
hung out for a long time.
10秒。
OK, 10명.
10秒还是10秒
10명.
对，10秒。
Well, you can make that roll. Set yourself up in a pretty good position.
大着点儿。力量可以。嗨！
嘿! 워! 헤이!
Wow, a little missed line call. They
Sorry.
let that one over curl.
Yeah, because it would have been interesting if it rolled behind.
See the numbers for the seconds. Kim Soo-ji, 86% to just 71. Jiang Cindy.
파이팅! 아니야, 진짜
Kim
아니야.
Soo-ji
Oh dear.
will get nothing on this one. So seeing some mistakes both sides here.
미안해 언니.
It's still just the 8th end. There's 3 ends to go, and
对，有的线。
the new 5-rock rule, it's hard to defend that lead all that way.
6区，6区。
亮
That one hangs around, biting back of the 12-foot, but
Not
needed that
very
one in the
useful
4-foot.
there.
可以没关系，咱们再调一调。第一天场特别滑。
Well, and more points on the board, and that is enough. Australia concedes defeat. Japan picks up a win. They beat Australia 15-2. So Japan bounces back after a loss earlier today. They move to 3-1. And if things hold true the way we stand right now in our game, Korea-China could be a 3-way tie.
They're all looking quite speechless, just staring at the head, hoping for some inspiration. But I'll get their coach on, get some words of wisdom.
저 5는 워킹 타임 아니야?
Well, they're seeing all those
그러지
Yellowstones.
않아. 구름 믿고 하는 대로 하고 일단은 하나만 보지 말고 뭐 할 수 있으면 2개 봐주고. 응. 지금 이거는 볼 게 아니라 쓰면 안 되니까 하나 해도 괜찮아. 오케이? 근데 트라이를.
인턴으로 크로스페이스 하면 더블킬이 가능하네요.
근데 지금 1점까지는 스틸 맞아도 돼. 이해돼? 그럼 돼. 거기까지는 괜찮으니까 하나 해도 괜찮아. 그냥 무리하게 하지 말고 일단 하나 하고 보고 계속 봐. 우리가 1점 가져와도 충분히 괜찮은 거고. 오케이?
네.
그러니까 일단 얘네들은 한 번 더, 피를 한 번 더 들어오든지 가들어오든지 둘 중에 하나일 거 아니야.
정말 밀렸을 때
근데
하나씩
선생님,
얘는 공격적으로.
인턴으로 크로스페이스로 이렇게도 볼 수 있지 않나요?
오케이.
이거.
트라이 한번 해봐.
하다가 안 돼.
아니야, 우리 그냥.
알았어,
정말,
알았어.
정말 1점만. 욕심 버리고 1점만.
So the big question for them, do we hit the ones in the house? Or do we peel the guards?
그제 여기 괜찮아?
Certainly, coach
이거예요?
was quite clear.
조금만
Clear the front.
살짝만. 네.
Those are the ones that can hurt. Coaches will come out and say that so many times.
But it's going to take 2 stones to clear the front.
잘했어.
So peel the high one still. Nothing in the 4-foot still open.
세이비야, 잘했어.线了 OK， 可以等等线，我圈6 OK 5，正常大就行，正常线路的安全，
我圈
查6血最好，
能到6，能到6。
刷的位置没问题。
好，来一点，不用了，
好球，
好球。
Oh, nicely done. They go right around top of the 4-foot.
这样就行，这13秒9，
好球。
Yeah, really good shot.
Man, I
Could
think,
have placed it better.
14秒05。
I think Korea in the timeout, we got to get rid of some of those guards. Doesn't matter what they do. If we peel and then they come around, we're going to start ripping as we see a deadlock at the 3rd position. 70% for each. Both higher in their draws than the hit numbers. This won't raise the hit numbers for Minji as it just peels the guard off. They're hoping to get one of those 2 in the rings.
Yep, Kim and Chi could be facing quite a few Chinese counters come the end of this end.
16秒。线路 OK，
2、3、2、
3区，别顶线，
3、
正常带就行。
3区。
正常
好球，正好，漏一点点。OK， 好，多随一点，行。
10도 안 보일 수도 있어.
Can definitely come around that guard. Just a tap back weight.
지금은
If
돌려서
they wanted
해야
to.
되지 않아요?
1점만 따면 돼.
이게 나?
근데 저거 돌려서 1번 되니?
안 될 것 같아. 언니 돌려서
And I
1번
think
돼.
it's one of these either or. If you don't make that, you nick the guard out the
아니
way.
안 될 것 같아.
그럼
근데
이렇게
얘는
갈까?
보여도 괜찮을 것 같아서.
이렇게 갈까 그럼? 이거?
파이팅.
파이팅.
Well, this is fully playing the scoreboard with the hammer. Right now, full forefoot is what's needed in order to get shot stone.
Please. Yep. Oh. Yep. 열어야 돼. 휴지야 열어야 돼. 가야 돼. 가야 돼.
Not working
가야 돼,
again. They
가야
want to
돼,
make sure they
가야 돼,
roll it
가야 돼.
off.
샷.
China lies 3 without the hammer. They trail this game 5-3, playing the 8th end.
场地就是16秒，
加了哈，14秒
16秒的站位。好。然后后期会有一点打斜下。
对。16秒就行 ，OK。
All the scores here in session 8. Hong Kong leading Chinese Taipei 7-6. Kazakhstan 10-6 over top of Qatar. Japan wins 15-2 over Australia 5-3. It's where we stand in the 8th end.
3区，3楼开始是力量，23刷子位置，3区，23有吗？等等先，2区，2区都非常好，哦，2区，好了，暂停，刷子位置往前一点啊，来一点，哦，我擦了，哎呀，好球，
好球。
Well, comparison of the fourth stone throwers. Kim Mun-chi 82% to 67 for Han Yu. Look at the difference in the draws. 93% for Kim Mo-han, just at 69%.
치고 들어가자. 로말? 언니 뭐예요? 로말? 여기 있는 거 안쪽이야? 맞고 안으로 롤 들어가는 거야.
Well, if you ever needed to come up with this run back, it's right now. Knowing that the forefoot's where you're going to have to play later. Actually, I stand corrected. They're going through the hole.
Up! Yeah. Up here! Yeah! Please! Up! Yeah!
Got to navigate this port first. Pass the top one. Hit, roll right in behind. That's pretty good.
Pretty good shot. I'll be pernickety again. A fraction more roll would have been better, so that China couldn't come and tap theirs as easily. But what an effort, what a shot.
After making that roll, may not seem like a lot, but they also clipped that backstone, the biter.
12秒，12秒5，就90，然后给了磕一点点。
If China gets rid of this one, they're only going to be at most lying 2, not the 3 that they were prior.
But if they come around at just a gentle tap back and lie to it, it's going to be very difficult for Korea to remove them.
OK。
So this is the line and the shot that they were trying to push Korea to make. They're now having to make it themselves down this line.
Well, trying to match that by Kim Mun-chi, Han Yu. They got to get by the front. Quiet tap, have enough to push it back. Doesn't quite get cross the face enough. They do lie 2. Can you make both of those go away?
Yeah, absolutely. The double is there.
난 될 것 같은데 언니는?
And if she makes this double for 2, quite remarkable. They come out this end scoring 2.
왜냐면 인턴 괜히
And they've chased the whole end.
인턴이 안 될 것 같아.
Makes a great first shot. Chance at a skips deuce.
얇게 가는 거죠.
Not that Han Yu wasn't very far off from making hers perfectly. Still was a pretty good shot.
It was. It just had to come half a stone more.
They're so worried they wanted to make sure they got by. I think they really were working hard early, and then it never made that late move. So last shot here, the 8.
She's looking concerned about this.
Right out of her hand. Can't touch the top, and will jam the back one. And a steal of 2. Chance for 2. Touches the guard and gets an unlucky break to give up steal of 2. Just redirect, still makes contact with 1, but it catches that redstone. And now, 2 ends remaining. We're all square at 5.
不是先说了，还是3区。好，1、2，加！我忘了。行吗？2、1，哦，可以。不，哦，1、2就行，这样就行。
Well, what a wild swing in the last part of that 8th end was.
16秒5。OK。
Kim Un-chi makes a great roll in, gets shot. Han Yu, pretty good tap, not perfect. And Kim Un-chi can't make her last, meaning a steal of 2. 5-5. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie in the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019. 2 ends remain. Hammer belongs to Korea. See what each team has got in the tank the last part of this game.
내까지 가.
아니. 라인 좀 더. 조금 더 가요. 라인 좀 더 해도
아하.
굿세이비야.
잘했어.
Yep, so now Korea, they were defending their lead. Now they're trying to generate a 2 at this end. They want to take 2 or blank. China will have other ideas.
线路 OK。3，我没看啊，擦一擦。3区，往，等线。往，线路偏大一点。正常3黑，正常往下3黑，离那球越远越好。加油，再点黑，顶线，再来黑，一直来，再来点。好强，辛苦。
2 nicely placed guards.
好球，挺好的。
我看这多大？3秒、4秒。
So Korea played the tactic to try the tick shot in the 8th end. Didn't work, missed the shot. Then they drew in, wasn't buried. See how they go about playing end number 9. They start with the chip shot, pushes off another corner guard.
That was the problem at the last end. By going to do the peeling, they were going to use 2 stones. to get both guards off. So it meant the pressure was on when they suddenly got into the house.
Well, Jiang Cindy.
我感觉还行呢。
一没问题，刷的位置。
刷的位置，
我等一等。
不用太深，
抓也太少了，刷的位置可能会深
Trying
一
to
点。
keep these stones separated on the center line.
好球，好球，好球！抓感可少了，后期有点失状。
Yep, in the last end, it was China's good stone placement. It made it difficult for Korea, and yet again they've done that here. Placement of stones has been excellent.
Well, they don't make the double peel, roll another one off to that corner.
And certainly plenty corner guards.
If you get one behind her, well protected. China put another guard out in front. Well, these will be tighter, so.
Sorry 啊 ，Sorry。
没事，可以，15秒。
啊。
Should be able to make that double peel. Kim Suji clear the front and roll it off. It's the problem with coming tight, leaving those two close together.
After just saying their stone placement had been so good, they then leave the double. Korea take the opportunity this time. China do want force though.
How do you play that? Do you put try another center guard? Do you draw behind?
Yeah, because if they come around that cover first, then Korea have got to chase it.
Well, need to have a well-managed stone. Can't afford to go deep, over-sweep this. Deep is not where you want to go with this. Have more protection. That's where Korea wants to go. They'd love to be able to score a deuce or get a blank. One is the score that they don't want to get. Another final. It is a win for Kazakhstan. They defeat Qatar 15-6. So Kazakhstan 2-2. Qatar drops to 0-4. High fives all around for the Kazakhstan victory.
라인 타이트해. 라인 타이트해. 계속 와. 계속 와. 라인 좋아. 웨이트. 일곱. 웨이트. 라인 룸이야. 어디야? 룸이야. 아홉. 열. 열.
It's also coming deep.
잘 봐줘.
Does lie short. Plenty space on top for China to come in now. Now a game of cat and mouse. Shang Li Jun ideally wants to stop top tee.
下楼下先带着点。6。我不可以。掉下来，自然停停。我。停前面。这边下一点。
This is looking good.
好球。
A really nice shot.
好球。
Keep it out in front. That was the key.
你14秒02。OK。
오케이, 여덟.
지금 제 호흡하고 몇이야?
14.19.
오케이.
똑같이 다 외치웠어.
살짝 더 잡아.
좀 내렸다.
여덟.
7.
여덟.
8.
여덟 와야 돼.
8.
웨이들아. 여기 봐.
9.
안 돼. 안 돼. 얘는 아니야. 진짜 룸이야.
Well, playing in front of the tee line, got to sit on the corner.
Also a nice shot, just bounced a fraction off it.
Just that little bit. Does it give it enough room to move that stone out?
Yeah, the swing round there at the end can get to the nose of that or inside.
对手刚刚成绩12秒就行。
Just need to play a hack weight. They don't need to throw any more than that.
交了哈，打进。好的。什么力量？踏板。12秒。对。OK。
So skip stones of this 9th end. 5-5 tie.
12秒。下线吗？
Started
Showered.
drawing.
Was on it early. Got to hold the line. Get by. Great looking shot.
Great shot. Nice hack weight. Controlled the sweeping.
Fantastic job of sweeping there. The front end, Xiao Yi, Jiang, Cindy. Watch this one. Look how tight it gets to that guard. And as soon as it's by, they know the shot's made. Just gets by. Believe me, it was just get by behind the leg there.
근데 이거 아니면 안 돼. 없어. 아싸리 프리즈는? 프리즈는 이렇게 프리즈해야 돼.
They played that one very tight.
허정! 허정! 이거 프리즈는? 굿스위핑.
Yep, quite happy with that. That's a good shot.
1번 만들기.
1번 만들어야 돼.
어쩔 수
엇각이어도
없어. 가야 돼.
1번 만들어야 돼.
할 수 있어. 괜찮아.
Initially,
19.
Korea put down the brush and Kim Eun-chi was going to try the thin double. Changed her mind.
웨이트 몇 해야 돼? 1. 1. 잘 나가네. 민전이 둘 다 2대예요.
Coaching bench there looking quite serious.
천천히.
Just want to come and freeze to it.
7이야. 오케이.
Yeah, she could even come around that top yellow. The finish is so good.
어디?
7 타이트해.
7 좋아.
타이트해 조금.
7 라인 근.
라인 좋아. 계속 가야 돼.
라인 근 웨이트 언니.
라인 진짜 좋아. 계속 가야 돼.
Here it goes.
끝까지
You can
가야
see
돼.
it really pulling.
타이트해진다.
약해.
Quite light of weight though.
약해.
Can't make it. They barely,
웨이트 괜찮은데.
with a big sweep, are able to get that one top 12 foot.
너무 약해. 타이트해서 많이 죽은 것 같은데?
Looking like the force is definitely in order, and now China can really make it difficult.
因为这个其实没有什么好球，这样也行。
你看你想逼他最后一球是打还是投？
这个吧，
行
发区投一个吧。
OK，
这投。
不用那么大点。
一半一半就行。
对，这儿
这个位置啊，
不， 那个位置他不就打定了吗？啊，他打定，反正哎也行。
对呀，打定1分。
这块好。
对呀。
Yeah, and that's where corner guards are supposed to favour the team with last stone, but they're actually favouring China here, just because their stone placement was better when they came around.
So the option here, they can draw to the top center line, block off the draw path forward to go, force Korea to go wide. Instead, they're going drawn to the open side. Basically saying, if you want to hit, you can hit. And after the draw came up short, I might be tempted to force her to think about playing the draw more than the hit. Hanyu chance to really make it a pressure-filled shot for Kim Moon-chi.
Super standing right back on this one. Is it going to stop?
Wants to be in there to lie 3, but it slides right through the rings and out of play. Just not the execution they want.
인턴이 더 낫지 않아?
나 갔던데.
여기가 날 것 같은데.
여기 잡아줘.
언니 자신 있는 턴에.
아 괜찮아.
영반인가? 될것 같아? 나는 아니 안 될 것 같아. 밖에서 앉음도 안 나가는 거.
그러면 영.
So trying to find a path that they like, what they've seen, what they know.
난 타이트에서 떨어지는 죽은 느낌이었어.
끝은 몰랐는데.
Just need to be fully in the 8 foot.
4초. 네, 초반이 좋아요. 좋아. 밖에서는 조금도 안 나가는 느낌이야.
She was just light in the drop. But that was drawing away. This is coming into the 4 foot.
Find out what she has. Last stone of the 9th.
Oh, Sweeper's really wanting to push this one.
Seo Yoon, Kim Soo-ji need to get this one fully in the 8 foot. Keep this one going, and they will do that right to the 4 foot. So a single point for Korea in this 9th end. And they have a lead by that margin. 6-5 the score. Nail-biting time coming to the 10th end.
잘했어. 0-3. 밖에서는 조금도 안 나가는 것 같아서. 닦았어.
라인은 비슷했어 너네랑. 아니 안에서 밖으로.
中间滑，额外两边都一样，都14秒5都可以进啊。
对对。
然后站位你可以再小16秒，都可以。
行，好，加油。
다섯, 넷, 다섯, 넷,
괜찮아 보여.
넷,
웨이트만.
10th end to play. It's the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2019 in Shenzhen, China. Luke Coley here with Rona Howie. And a 1-point game as that guard slides just into the rings. Here's how we've got to this point. 5 through 8, pretty wild play. Each team scoring a multiple point end, but Korea does it with the hammer. China does it with the steel. We sit that 1-point game as the corner guard will go up.
OK，可以，有用。好，17秒。
So it's all about these setup shots, getting yourself in a good position early.
계속. 수지야 좀만 오자. 와야 돼. 지금 더 와야 돼. 더.
Look over on sheet A, Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei, 8-6. Hong Kong leading.
Heidi Lin trying to draw into the forefoot here. Swept it for the raise, but I think it looks.
This is for sure. Yeah.
It's a 1.
So it is 1.
Yeah. So this one's for
So
sure.
tightens the scoreline, but Hong Kong still have the advantage.
Tight one there. Tight one here as we play in 10.
等一等，带着点，10秒，11秒，
不要大，力量大，下线，
可以对下线，
再来，
下线还。
OK 可以，
I'm
好
curious
球
to see how aggressively Korea goes after a steal or if they're playing to force and play an extra end.
挺好的，好球。
辛苦了，教练。
Thing is, both these guards are quite high. So if Korea come around, because you can get to it a tap back weight, gives China that opportunity to hit and roll behind their corner. So they need to make sure it's the other side showing, if anything. So pretty good draw there, right behind cover.
8、9学就行，行 ，OK 磕出来吧。这边吗？
逆时好一点。
这边来吧，这边后续有点掉线。
行。
So you don't want to give China that opportunity to get the roll. Set up their 2.
有什么力量？13秒，可以，没问题。8、9可以。 带着点，8、9，9，等一等我，9去，5，量大吗？不大。9，平线打甩吗？甩不了，磕，下线能下来，正常查1，正常。下线。
Well, important to keep stones around. The little tap back. Very nice.
Yeah, really well played.
12秒5，啊，12秒5吗？
Well, China was in the same situation earlier today against Japan. They were able to score their 2 to win the game. Hoping they can duplicate that here this evening. Win keeps them unbeaten, while Korea is a game back right now.
So Korea just want to half check this yellow. Give them something to work with. This one's really pulling hard.
와 벨보야. 头一个用这个的时针头，这边来，好一点，你觉得呢？这样也都行，露一半也可以。你觉得呢？这边悬死。
China could even come around the corner guard now and put that other counter in.
够。让他们俩慢慢研究。还是清一个，清一个不好吧？
怎么来？
平。行。
Now take a timeout.
Yeah, I was going to talk about it. A crucial point of this game, what to play.
就是因为他会一直围绕着这个站位给咱打，但是清开了也不是很好，反正。对。站这要再平了。你说这边头一个，反正好一点，就逼他，他就主要是他跟咱打边区。但现在边区
不是，你要这么投一个，这个弧线完全够这么投。
够这么粘到这儿。那意思
这个场地完全够。
但必须得投到这儿。对，这边输出去那少。
对。
要不轻开呢？对，我觉得轻开简单一点吧。轻开，那想让对手下一个怎么办？轻开，但还再站一个。对呀、刚才一个球，
要么就这儿来一个，
粘一个。这我觉得，
粘一个回手奔2分，粘一个，看他打头，
粘一个我会往这旋。
就先打往这边甩啊。
想先把这个圈先占。
Here.
You would prefer a
No,
free though?
I prefer. Tell me your idea first. Here's my.
Peel the guard or here, but I think here the.
From my point of view, we could make a corner draw and put the second one.
Corner
Draw, not behind the corner, open one, but second draw. That is so soon.
Here, that's
to,
2, right?
or here, or deep, anyway.
Okay. 先签这个。
For me,
We have choice close and.
yeah, because if we go to play there after they follow us, we make the second one. They have to
对，
follow
开始的时
us.
候露出来就行。
You understand? Try to think it about
I
that.
think behind Tilan is better.
Yeah.
OK。
我觉得这儿最好。
就这儿就行。
Good girl.
后稍微边一点点。
对，边一点都行。
行 ，OK。正常这点就行。行 ，OK。
Well, comes through after that. Coach will be happy that they called a timeout at that point. And teaching moment there. Coach coming out says, think what happens if we play that. If we go here, they have to come after us. Let's get our second one in.
跟这边一样滑。
行，要是那个力量 OK，就正常点线带就行。
Coach Marco Mariani.
Yep, this was my favoured call.
下不 OK。
For the simple two.
7、8，地线，地线啊，6、7、7、8都行。
8区最好。
这样踩踩。
顶线来了。
哦，不能擦了，掉线了。还可以啊。这样行，掉下来了。哦。OK， 行。掉这么大呢？
But did it go too far? It looks like
点小吗？
third shot.
还行，可能要的点小，因为你的球就掉那
力
儿了。
量挺好的，后边有点力量很好，应该就是出手没问题。
OK，点要的小，我再。
So both teams have used their timeout. Korea, 2.5 minutes left for this one. Still have to move fairly quickly so they have some time to discuss. Well, plays a little tap, just closing the rings in.
It was important to poke that red that they tapped out enough that they could see it coming down in the in-turn.
So as it stands right now, China lies 1. How soon do you make that play to try and get a second shot to lie 2?
再来一点吧。场地会有点涩啊。
Can come right around now.
Guard that side.
14秒6。我这边都踩双，这边脚都完全动不了了。
我俩刚
已经提了一块。
밀리니 괜찮니? 안 밀려. 안 밀려?
여기보다는 안 밀려. 파이팅. 아이스
지금
있게.
나 몇이었어?
98.
98? 아니 나
98.
So does this go right around everything? Try and go back 4 foot?
Yeah, the cover's there. They need to use it now to their advantage.
웨이트 잡아와. 얘들아 길 닦아가. 잡아와.
gone very wide to start with. Will it be much slower out there?
Looks as though it is. So they're going to put another guard up, making it harder and harder to get into the forefoot for that extra point right now, or even try and steal it if you're Korea.
여기 완전 여기를 사용해서.
微让2点。
这面14秒可以。
顶线带着点儿。看力量。线路 OK。可以下线。5，正常往下擦就行，正常。
All three of them out there.
哇，5次也可以。
Get up, try to sweep your own, Shang Li Jun.
擦6，擦往后。不行不行，别比他远了。
They draw to the wing, but again, still third shot. Really tough to move that red one off of the top of the 8-foot.
我往这旋一个也行。
Yep, who's going to get that perfect shot round here? He's going to have the advantage at this end.
Both had their set up their chances. The first come around to the corner just went too wide.
열이야. 어디? 열. 라인 끝. 얍. 얍. 열하나. 열하나 안 돼. 열하나 안 돼. 얍. 진짜 기다려. 안 돼. 열하나 안 돼. 있어 진짜. 쎄. 얍. 맞는 게 더 좋아 언니. 맞는 게 더 좋아.
Oh, just around, but too heavy. They actually wanted a little rub. Both sides not executing here in this 10th end.
웨이트 괜찮네.
Just leaving the door open for each other. Korea comes in 2-1, a game back of China. Need a win really to have any chance to think about first place. Strange to say early in an event like this, but to get 2 games back and 7-game round robin.
14秒90够。
14秒。
95就行。停在是这儿吗？后区。
不是
6区。
露出来都行，这是前区啊。
啊好。
过了咱的球1点，然后6区。
哦，明白了。
Han Yu, 68% on her draws, 70 on her hits. This is in her draw game.
Key shot here to set up their 2. The line's good.
Will it sit for second shot? And it does sit second shot, but it's deep, and there is a freeze.
Yep, a freeze for Korea now would kill the 2 and force China to have to draw for 1. She's just seen the line. Han Yu came down slightly heavy. Gimunji has to follow it.
%83%, 9 draws on the game. Her last shot here leading in this game, 6-5. Well, come right around, right to the back of the forefoot, get shot stone, and look at that one, buried.
where Han Young, just her first shot had to be top tee. She couldn't give anything for Korea to freeze. Forced to draw for one. Has to be fully in the 4 foot.
So it all comes down. Got to play the similar shot, but have to have the right line. Can't afford to bounce and roll off. Last shot, 10th end. Han Yu.
下路 OK 只是力量。8区，8区等一等。下路6区，7。哇，等一等。8，先等。哇，别带了。8。哦，不行。
Sweepers seem happy.
Like the weight. Has to stop in the 4 foot. Will it stop off that one? Rolls off, and it looks like it does.
Does it?
I think at first it did.
Wow.
So just like that, we'll play an extra as it just stopped in time. 6-6 after regulation. Free curling coming up.
全力打1分，双量位，全力打1分。好，3区1区，行，来好。안 되면 여기 아이스 어디야? 어때? 핵. 좋아.
드로우 몇이야? 은전.
Well, the two skips made some pressure shots in that 10th end on their last. The great draw on the final stone, Kim An-chi, but then Han Yu had hers come just enough at the end. And we play an extra here, 6-6. Korea has the hammer. Japan coming in was also at the same record at 2-1. They have won this evening, so they move to 3-1, waiting what happens in this one.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
So Korea going for the tech shot. Catches too much of it.
So guard goes back out in front. That's the 5 stone free guard zone rule. You can't remove that stone. You can move it, you can manipulate it. You just can't get rid of it until the 6th stone of the end. Zhao Riyi.
离那球远一点，擦一擦，擦一擦，线路 OK， 3区就行，一直来，加油，擦一擦，下线，号，下线，号，加油，一直来，一直下线来，再来，加油，再来点，加油，擦一擦，号，再来，号。
Try and get these ones separated.
辛苦了，16秒2，OK。
Yeah, there is a double peel on those later in the end. You could just leave them and you could try and tick it and it'd be worse.
Yep. 다운. 야, 다운. 많이 와야 돼. 언니 약해요. 진짜 많이 와야 돼.
Well, it looks like tick is the call. They were looking at a draw and then changed it to the tick. Well, they'll end up promoting that one. Will it stay in play? It does just stay in play.
But it does just still leave the two guards in exactly the same place. So They'll still have to go for that double peel.
And handshakes took a measurement. It is Hong Kong winning 9-7 over Chinese Taipei. So both Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei, 2-2.
Nice come around.
Yeah, well played, especially knowing this peel's coming. If double peel's made, then you're guarding that one.
Yeah, ideally that one would have been top of the forefoot, just to be guarding that for the rest of the end.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Oh. Set.
A little bit of life, they get that jam on the double peel, so leaves one guard still in play. You can get a second one.
OK， 这面的话我就奔上一个力量口，行吗？可以。
可以，没事儿。
那个球离3区多近啊？那个球站位是2区吗？先站一个吧。
行，
站一个行。
我稍微来点转。
好。OK， 力量。3就行。先等等。3区。我刷子位置正常。刷位小。下擦一擦，正常往下擦。
哈尔擦一擦。
哦，可以了。哦，这赢了。哦，好球！好球！
Well, has another biter top part. Maybe like it a little bit higher.
这边也滑一点了。
They are all lined up, so a double peel is tough. You might actually leave a guard by playing this if you miss hit it a little bit. That's what China's hoping, to get a little bit of a miss hit from Korea. Kim Soo-ji. Well, get a couple, just touches that one over. So there's a little of a miss hit. Now there's those two guards are still out. China puts another one.
Yep, this whole end, Korea, all they're thinking about is their last stone. How are they going to get to the button?
下楼 OK， 偏小一点，2、3，擦一擦。1、2，差一点力量，下线来一点呗。
不行，
正常下线。1，下线来。1，好。1，再来，好。
Zhao
再来，好，擦到铁好。
Chang on the sweep, trying to just close up the gap.
好球，这多大？15秒6。哎，
因为怕他捡，我刚才不敢下。
好球。
Double peel this one. Would you look at peeling that one with just thrown? So that's the one protecting shot stone.
It is, but I think she was also looking here. If it over curls, she can run it straight back into a yellow and do some damage. But you shouldn't always just be looking at your first option, really. But a double clear would be good.
So
They seem to keep touching the two stones, but not removing them.
yeah, moving them around, but just it's a different stone now, perfectly guarding shot stone.
不，先不打边，
站一个。
他现在想把顺势这面清开，给他最后一投。
Yeah, right now I'd rather be yellow.
1、2就行。好。球。一样的力量。好。 好球，这块挺好的。
这是挺好的。
Korea persistent. Gonna need to make one of these if they want to have a good chance.
공간이 이만큼이야.
Hit this right. Could get that one out of the 8 foot too.
공간 얼마큼이래?
이만큼. 오케이.
That would be pure bonus at this stage.
Yeah, definitely a double clear. It's what they need. Now after this, we're down to skip stones. There's not a lot of time to clear up.
와야 돼. 진짜 타이트해. 타이트해.
Oh, Minji trying to slash this one over the top. Again, moves a bunch around, but still good position for China. Talk of draw down to it yourself. Put another guard out, sort of half hook it. They have used another their timeout they get in this extra end.
对，我就按这个来，或者停4区。但是这个位置不足以投分啊，现在。对。
See the coach making his way down. This time a longer walk than he had to make in that 10th end.
他现在就清顺时，你没看着吗？对。他就想让顺时这边敞开。对。他想让这边敞开。
那咱就还这边投，我宁小不大，要不扎上，要不就停前面好一点。教练，教练在这儿。
Give me girl. Tell me.
I would like to prefer the internal one.
Yeah, inter.
No, outer.
Oh no, turn top.
Inter.
那边 turn top.
I agree.
Okay.
Why?
你们磕吗？还是
Because
就扎？
the leave button is
Yeah, you're right.
What do you think?
Good
Step
think.
back or free is better?
Anyway, we have to go in the 4 foot now.
OK， 就是把
I'm agree about that.
轻磕一点点。OK. Yep.
Control. Okay? Relax. Good girl.
OK. Thanks. 轻磕一点，我就踢线力量就够了，你知道吗？踢线力量就够了，而且这头滑色度还差不多。OK， 这个点，OK， 来一点点，不用这个点够了，因为那块稍微近一点。13秒5，你觉得呢，兄弟？
行，
行，13秒5到14秒之间。
行，
这个点吧，收一点吧。
反正不能磕这个。
啊。
然后要磕这个的话，最好要磕定或者甩一点点，别甩太大。
这点，对，就那个点，我不会太大。
Figure out where they need to put the broom in order to make this the intern tap. Try and get one in the 4 foot.
加了哈，加油！
It's all down to this and skip stones.
OK.
China lying the game-winning points.
射一点点过去，对。白边收一点点，再收一点点吧。OK。加90、95，可以90、
Great chance for China to close the door here. Make it very difficult for Korea.
Have to get past their top stone. They're done that. Now it's just a matter. Tap it up, push it to the 4 foot. Did they oversweep it as it over curls?
Over curled there. They wanted to really tap that straight back. They tapped it slightly out in the open.
Now Korea's turn. They call their timeout. Trying to come through that same hole. Tap and try and roll off to the side.
그러면 해야지.
아니면 범퍼. 범퍼 너무 얇으려나?
범퍼 안 돼. 핵인데 핵보다 약하면 또 안 돼. 쟤를 밀어내야 돼. 범퍼는 슈터가 나갈 것 같아서.
맞고 롤.
40 정도야.
네, 맞고 이렇게 롤.
어머 얘는
이제
뭐니?
해야지 뭐. 자신 있게 하고.
네.
그다음에 드로우 만약에 이쪽 사이드 할 거면은 이쪽 충분히 있어야 된다 웨이트.
네.
네네.
이쪽 준비하면은.
네.
생각보다 많이 있어야 돼.
네.
오케이.
폭풋?
웨이트 뭐라고 했니?
Well, short and sweet there for
나는 공부해야 될 것 같아.
Korean coach coming down.
릴리즈 하고. 언니 6은 해야 돼. 그리고 릴리즈 있어야 돼요?
6보다 있어.
안 그럼 진짜 약해.
오케이. 네, 7보다 5.
좋아. 천천히?
So in turn, try and get through the hole.
업이야. 여유 있어요.
와, 많이 룸이야. 많이 룸이야. 기다려야 돼. 아예 룸이야. 와, 수지야. 수지야, 이건 진짜.
They can't get past that top yellow.
날개 만들어.
Splits that one both into the rings.
38이야. 38.
웨이트는 괜찮았던 것 같은데.
Does that give them anything by at least leaving those on the side?
Not a huge amount. They could come off that yellow across to the forefoot, but it's not an easy shot.
오케이.
That would be a last resort. But Uduvio China is going to put up the guard.
30可以低一点点。OK。好。这个点收一点。
And the draw would need full forefoot for the win.
Yeah. So Korea have to decide what they're happiest playing, the full forefoot draw or the hit and roll.
China knew today wouldn't be an easy day taking on China and Korea. Beat China or Japan this morning, trying to knock off Korea tonight.
This one's coming right in.
How far will it go? Do they want to take it all the way back?
Oh, anywhere short with that. And she knows it.
Just given backing on this draw. Still not an easy shot, but it makes it a touch easier.
The forefoot is visible. When you're a skip drawing that forefoot, if you can see it, there's something psychologically there that makes it easier.
No,
She can't afford
watch
to
from behind.
can't afford just to rub off the top yellow, so line and weight absolutely crucial.
Well, the pressure shot here. Kim An-chi. For the win here in the extra, needs full forefoot.
This has got a lot of drawing to do. Very wide. Same as our last.
Has to get full forefoot. Will it curl and get into the forefoot and stop? Look at that. Just hangs on. It takes that curl, and Korea picks up the single point and the victory. Didn't look like it halfway down. Had a lot of curling to do. A big win. Now a three-way tie on the leaderboard. Korea, Japan, and China.
Coach's bench looks stunned.
스톤 가져가야 돼?
안 떨어지니까 안 좋은 것 같아 나는. 여자가 이해. 그냥 빠졌어.放这儿啊. 한번 더放这儿. 진짜 잘했어.
안 가져가도 돼?
네. 열하나 안 만나. 안돼 안돼. 열하나. 진짜 안 만나.
아니야.
아니야 기다려야 돼. 기다려.
죽고 있어. 괜찮아.
Was looking wide the whole way down. Just died at the end. What a shot.
수고하셨습니다. 나야 나. 와.
So 8th end, China line 2. Kim and Chi goes for the thin double. Sweepers can't hold it. Rex jams and gives up a 2. Ninth end, all square on the scoreboard. China line 2. Kim and Chi has to draw the 8-foot. Sweepers work it hard, but no problem. Makes the draw, takes the 1-point lead going into the 10th end. And the 10th end. No chance for a 2 for China for the win. Han Yu has to draw the 4-foot to tie the game. Rubs off the red, just hangs on enough to take that 1 point, tie the game and go into an extra. Extra end, China line 3. Han Yu has to draw fully into the 4-foot, hanging wide, just comes enough, stops in time, a score of 1 and the win on the board. Big win for Korea. China were undefeated before this game.
Thank you, good game. Thank you, good game. Thank you, good game.
And there we can see the results from tonight's session. Hong Kong 9-7 winners over Chinese Taipei. Kazakhstan 15-6 over Qatar. Japan 15-2 over Australia. And our game, Korea 7-6 over China. And the standings. 3 teams all on 3-1. China, Japan and Korea. Hong Kong, Kazakhstan, Chinese Taipei all on 2-2. Australia 1-3. And Qatar still looking for their first victory.
Congratulations, nice win. What were you thinking on your last shot?
마지막 샷 할 때 무슨 생각하셨는지?
마지막 샷에서는 거의 생각을 안 하려고 했어요. 뭐 성공하는 샷, 뭐 실패하는 샷 이런 샷을 아예 생각 안 하고 그냥 제 느낌대로만 하려고 했었던 것 같아요.
She just didn't think about too much and result, and she just focused on what she are gonna do, and then she never ever thought about the result, and that's the point. What she made it in last shot. Yeah.
And looking ahead, now you put yourself in a good position for the playoffs. Where do you like where you guys stand?
지금 이제 플레이오프를 가기 위해서 유리한 포지션에 있는데 어떤 생각 가지고 있는지.
나머지 남은 게임 더 집중해서 1등으로 올라갈 수 있도록 최대한 노력하겠습니다.
There are still a few more the round robin games, and they would love to do their best and to be the first ranked and to be in the playoff.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Well, that's the end of play for today. Session 8 is over from the Pacific Asia Championships. Thanks for joining us in Shenzhen, China. From Luke Coley and myself, Rona Howie, thank you and goodbye.